Hello. It has been a hot minute. Almost 2 months now as of this video going up. I haven't uploaded onto this channel, and there's a number of reasons for that, and I wanted to talk about that today. So one of the reasons why I have kind of been silent on this channel is because of some like internal things that have been happening to this channel, you know, managerial stuff, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal. Thankfully, it's all settled now. We're all good. Hence why I am back to uploading. Yay! But the other reason was because I had a lot of actual events happening in my real life. I had some family things come up. I also had, you know, some real life situations that I had to sort out with, and other side project stuff. I don't want to go too much into the details, and I'm sorry if it sounds a little too vague for all of you, but just know that I was away for a number of reasons. Some I could control, some I couldn't control. But I guess what this break has given me is, I guess, the opportunity to kind of step back a little bit and actually go out and enjoy my real life, which is something that I admittedly haven't done in a while. For example, one of my best friends from back at uni, before, you know, I even started this channel, came over to Japan to come and visit me for a couple of weeks. And, you know, I was obviously going around showing him all the sights and sounds of Japan, and just really having a great time, you know, making sure that he has a memorable time, because I always want to do that for people who come and visit Japan. You know, as much as you see me on this channel talking about all sorts of weird negative stuff that might happen in this country, as does happen with every other country, there are so many amazing things about this country that I love showing off to people who, you know, whether it's their first time or their 10th time or their 100th time coming to Japan. So I was doing that for him, and luckily we had a great time. Everything went off without a hitch. And then I also had, you know, family visiting as well. I had to go back to Australia for a family issue, which I don't want to go into details about. Sorry. Just know that it wasn't a happy thing. So yeah, a lot has been happening in my life, and you know, I kind of missed all of it. And I mean that in both ways. I really missed, obviously, being on camera for you guys and making second channel videos, and there's going to be a ton coming out after this video, trust me. But I also missed not being on camera, just kind of going out there and just like enjoying my life away from being in front of a camera like this. And look, this isn't me saying like, oh, I'm so sick of being on camera now. And, you know, I'm not making it out to be like, oh, being on camera and talking about Japanese news is the hardest job ever. Like, no, I'm fully aware of how much of a privileged position that I have been put in my life. I don't want, you know, you guys to think that I take that for granted or anything. But, and, you know, this might seem like a really a difficult thing to maybe understand if you don't do content creation, but it takes a lot out of you, especially when you're trying to be consistent with it, especially when you're trying to do it to the best of your abilities every single day. Because even though I might not upload every single day, I'm constantly thinking about content every single day. I'm constantly thinking about like what the next video idea should be on both this channel and the main channel, and Trash Taste, and, you know, on top of that, I've got like the nonsense stuff happening as well, which, by the way, by the time this video comes out, the PewDiePie nonsense collection is out. Check it out. I got one of the hoodies right here. I'm glad we finally got to release it. Felix loves them, I love them, and hopefully you guys do too. And I don't know how much of it will be left on the store, but if you want to check it out, nonsense.jp, as always. You know, speaking of nonsense, we got so many big projects coming up this year, and that's another reason why I've just been so busy away from making content, and I've been enjoying all of it. Honestly, it's been great. It's been refreshing, because if I had just done videos my entire life, for the rest of my career rather, then I think I would have been even more burnt out than I currently am. But, you know, I really missed not being on camera and just not having to worry about how people in the world perceive me. You know, just kind of go out there and spend time with my friends, especially friends that, you know, again, have known me before content creation. Don't just know me as the dude on YouTube who talks about Japan and anime and otaku culture stuff, but like just Joey, you know, just the regular, normal ass, almost 30 Japanese Australian dude with a weird taste in anime. And I know this sounds like really like hippie or whatever, but, you know, it really kind of brought me back to how I was before making content. And it made me realize just how much I miss that feeling. Because admittedly, you know, I haven't been hanging out with a lot of like content creators per se, almost purposefully. Not to say that I don't like hanging out with content creators. Obviously, there's lots of content creative people out there that, you know, I consider very close and I consider very good friends, and hopefully they reciprocate that. I also just miss like hanging out with non-content creator people, like hanging out with people that don't remind me of my career and my job. And I think that's a balance that a lot of content creators especially just don't quite get. You know, there's a lot of talk about like, oh, you know, in order to make sure you don't get burnt out, in order to make sure you don't get sick of, you know, this dream job that you have as a content creator, then it's best to like step away from the internet. And, you know, maybe not everything has to be like filmed, not everything has to be in front of a camera, not everything has to be about work, and just go hang out with friends and stuff like that. But I think the problem with a lot of content creators, as far as I see, and this is just my personal opinion, of course, and not every content creator is like this, but from a lot of them, from how I see it, hang out with only other content creators. They don't hang out with just like normal people, you know, and not to say that content creators are not normal people, of course they are. I mean like people who, again, don't remind you of your job, are not just like co-workers. And even though a content creator might not see another content creator as like a co-worker, at the end of the day, they are, whether you like it or not. Even if you two may not make the exact same content as one another, with how this whole thing operates, you are co-workers. And, you know, anyone can tell you there's a big difference between hanging out with a co-worker and hanging out with just like a normal friend outside of work. And I feel like, me personally, once I noticed that, I thought, oh crap, maybe this is what it is. And this is not me blaming other content creators for hanging out with you. No, I'm also blaming myself for this thing. And, you know, I decided to go out there and actually like spend time with, of course, my partner and my family and stuff like that, but also just like regular friends I've made along the way. And, you know, I'm luckily in a thankful position where I do have quite a number of just like regular non-content creator friends here in Japan and in Australia and stuff like that I still hang out with, and I enjoy the company of very much. And I've noticed like that makes so much of a difference. It honestly is the best way to just turn your brain off of your job, turn your brain off of your career. And it's such a nice refresh and restart of your mind, especially when you're kind of put in a position where you're starting to become a little bit overwhelmed with everything. And so basically for the past month or so, I've been doing that, obviously, on top of, you know, giving you guys proper content. Like I'm still, you know, uploading semi-frequently on the main channel as well. Still doing the nonsense stuff, as you guys see right now, and working on a bunch of other stuff. So it's not like I've just been like completely slacking off or anything, but it was also a really nice opportunity to not be in front of a camera. And it felt really good. And I think this is like the one point that I really want to drive home in this video, is the fact that if you are a content creator and you do kind of sometimes find yourself in that feeling of like being overwhelmed, of having to be on camera all the time, being overwhelmed with this career or soon to be, hopefully, career that you're trying to build up and you're constantly on the grind for and stuff like that, just understand that taking a break is not only something that I recommend you to do, just so you don't go absolutely insane, but I think it's something that you absolutely should do. Like, it is a necessity in order to be able to do this for a long period of time. At least that's how it works in my brain. Obviously, you know, some people just are naturals and they just love to be on camera 24 hours a day. Look at a bunch of streamers, for example. You know, I know a couple of streamer friends out there who actually say the opposite. They say that like being in front of a camera, being on a stream for like, you know, 10, 12 hours a day, that is their vacation. And honestly, all the more power to them for that. I'm honestly jealous that people can do that. And that's a big reason why, like, when I decided to go full in on this whole nonsense thing, I decided to, I guess, abandon streaming, just because it took the most amount of time away from me. And I think after all of this time of doing streaming. Like, I've had a Twitch channel for almost as long as I've had a YouTube channel, albeit not as active as my YouTube channel. But I think it honestly took me all this time to finally realize I am not built for streaming. I'm much more comfortable doing pre-recorded stuff like this, where I kind of have the time to just like think about what I want to say and internalize everything before I present it. Again, the occasional like streams where, you know, like the whole meme is like I come in to get the bag and then dad leaves again to get milk and cigarettes. Those kinds of stuff is fine, and I might honestly continue to do that in the future, but it's definitely not my priority. I think this break really made me kind of confirm that in my head of being like, yeah, I can't really be on camera all the goddamn time. I'm waffling on. I'm just saying stuff that's been in my head for the past couple of months. Bottom line is, I'm back. All the channel stuff is sorted out. Hopefully I'll be, you know, a little bit more consistent in this month and the following months and stuff like that. But just know that if I decide to like peace out for a month or so, then come back to this video, and that'll probably be the reason why. Again, I'm doing a lot of nonsense stuff, and again, we just dropped the PewDiePie Nonsense collaboration, which I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud of my team that we managed to pull it off, and we still got a ton of other cool stuff coming out this year as well with all that, so look forward to it, and thanks for the support. Oh yeah, and one more thing, I don't normally do this much anymore, but I'll just acknowledge it for the sake of acknowledging it and really dating this video, but while I was away, we hit 800,000 subscribers. That's pretty fucking sick. Pretty close to 1 million. That would be really cool if I can get another one of those, although they don't look like that anymore, but if I can get another one of those on the wall, that'd be pretty rad. But yeah, sorry for the waffling. Hopefully you guys have been good. Let me know, I guess, your thoughts about anything I said down in the comments below, and look forward to future videos. All right, that's about it. Peace.